Shots.
Hey, this me falling out. I'm coming back to life like this. I come back to life like this. I'm back. Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your man Stilo Vino Pellegrino, Mr. Heem, Mr. Algorithm, Dewey, Hoodie, Stilo is in the building. It's your first time seeing my face, first time being on my channel. Welcome, glad to have you. Today we have a special reaction.
Wait for it.
Of the latest Man on the Moon series, the third installment from legendary rapper, Hummer, and visionary Kid Cudi. Now this will be a reaction and a review together. I'll be giving my initial reaction to every song on the album, but I also will be incorporating my thoughts in totality on the album. Now I went into this album with zero expectations because I listen to Kid Cudi very infrequently. I don't really listen to him often, but I was seeing positive reviews of the album on my timeline, so I decided to give this a shot. Now, like I said, I had zero expectations, and I really prefer to go into an album that way. So there's no letdowns, there's no disappointments. I'm going in with a clean slate. Now the introduction, Beautiful Trip. This felt like a sci-fi thriller. It felt like Interstellar type of vibes. And it felt like an immediate departure from my surroundings. You know how one of those songs you get lost into the music early and you forget everything around you? That's what happened with this song. Beautiful Trip. I'm feeling good. Let's go. And I knew from that point on, I would be giving this album my undivided attention. Now, like I said, you heard me, right? I had zero expectations. I don't listen to Kid Cudi. I don't know what's gonna go on. So I didn't know if there's gonna be a setup to an epic album or a colossal failure, but I was locked in at that point. Now, Tequila Shots, produced by Take a Day Trip and Dot the Genius. I feel that this is a return track of some sort, and even though he's been involved recently in projects such as the Kids See Ghost project with Ye, as well as Meet the Scots with Travis Scott, as well as little features here and there, I feel like this is a return to his fans, a return to the sound that the world knows him for. And he's back with much to say, back with career defining and character building things that I feel like he's going to get into with this track and get into all the trials and tribulations that he's went through and overcome. It felt like an internal monologue that we had the privilege to be in the room for, one that has been induced by intense conflict and perhaps trials and tribulations and problems that he wasn't ready to tell anybody about for whatever reason, but now he's ready, and the music serves as the perfect medium to get into all the battles and the war he's overcome. I don't get from his tone on this specific track that this is a war or a battle that he has lost or currently losing. And I really wanted to focus on the lyric in the song, I Can't Stop This War on Me, because it's a thought that a lot of us dwell on. Now, it could be a fleeting thought that will be silenced by his will to achieve peace that we will find out later in the album, or a thought that will end up eating him alive.
Standing on the cliff right off my Holland Drive, back on my latest is a remedy. All the shit is weighing on me, it's a storm. Never thought I would be back here bleeding.
But Tequila Shots is an interesting title for the song to me. It's interesting because I don't know if it's serving as a metaphor for him trying to find an escape to his problems by diving into unhealthy coping mechanisms like drinking, or if this is just the name of the beat that he wrote to. Either way, it's an interesting title for the song.
I'm not just some sad dude. You can see my life, how I grew. I want serenity. Oh, wanna be just for the free ad.
He said, oh.
Is that how I go? I don't remember that shit.
Now the next song, Another Day, produced by No Such Thing and Dot the Genius. The beat is very simple, but it leaves enough room for Cudi to paint his canvas and take it into a direction that suits his vision, because the pocket that Cudi's in vocally, it can get monotonous fast. So Cudi needs that production with bounce to go underneath him to make sure that it drives the record forward.
Better give a nigga room, I'll be back round two. It's the soldier in me, let them fuckers and be going 7 heaven bound. Who gon' trip and we'll see? I was been overloaded my zone. No, nothing else can fix the problem but this herb grown. Yeah.
Sound like it's just him alone in the solar system, just him chilling. Now my thoughts on the song is that it feels like Cudi is staying afloat. Like, it doesn't feel like he's teetering too far off to where he's falling off a cliff, but it also doesn't feel like he's entirely overcome the problems that he's dealing with. And I'm focusing on the lyrics, thank God I saw another day, and same old nigga with the same old pain. It almost feels like it feels regular to him, like just another chapter in the story, and what doesn't kill him makes him stronger.
Hit me up, hit me, come on, ready or not, nigga, coming with it, come on. I'm living, gotta push it, gotta set the tone. It ain't nothing to me, baby say I'm living wrong.
Like it's another footnote in his legacy, but I would like more context. I would like him to give more specifics, and I feel like he can and will dive deeper. But he's got some legendary hums on this song. You know that. I'm talking about that 99 overall humming that Kid Cudi be on. And the next record, She Knows This. I can feel at this point the album starting to kick up another notch, kick it up to another gear. And my eyes lit up when this came on. As soon as this came on, my eyes lit up. I had to fix my do-rag when I was listening to this, because it sounded like Jumanji. I had to get ready. Shit sound like Jumanji. It sound like riding horses and giraffes and shit. You trying to get back to earth and shit. You feel me? Ooh, I like the drums on that. Okay. She know this. Now I know this. And she's screaming, she knows this. And she's screaming, she knows this.
And she's screaming, she knows this. Yeah. And she see me, she knows this. Yeah.
And I feel like he was getting into his Travis Scott bag where wherever it was, it didn't matter what it was. As long as it sounded fly to him, as long as it sounded fly to him, to Cudi and Cudi only, he was going to stay on that production and get away with it. Because it didn't have to be lyrically top tier. Feel me? It didn't have to be a lyrical exercise, because the beat, the backdrop is that dummy. It goes that hard. Like, it had my head rattling when I had this song. You know what I'm saying? It had my nostrils flaring up. And another thing that it had me doing, it had me reflecting on Cudi's influence on the culture.
You my fix, use a hit and forever long. Working in your sweaty body, love to see it go. Do whatever you like, and we on a mission tonight. Ooh.
Yeah. So I had to give Cudi his flowers, man. Because I'm not much of a Cudi fan, so I had to give Cudi his flowers as I'm listening to this record. It started to click for me slowly. And I like the beat switch up on this record. You know, when it starts to sound like the building blocks for Tetris, yeah, that shit is tough.
Yeah. And she see me, she knows this. Yeah. And she screaming, she knows this.
You hear that switch up? I feel like it added another layer to this album. And I knew the album was moving in a direction at this point, but I didn't know where it was going to. I knew it was taking a turn. Like the momentum was building in a direction that I knew would start to unravel as the album would start to progress.
I say you can't judge me, babe, I'm twisted.
So many different sounds.
It in the brain, no why.
What's next?
And now Dive. Dive, yeah. Oh, we moving now. We moving and grooving now. It's really starting to sound like a movie at this point. And Cudi was in that pocket. Once again, the drums are heavy on this. And Cudi is free to explore whatever pockets he chooses. He isn't pressured to make anything that compromises the vision he had for this album. It's flowing really well at this point. And the vision to me was, I'm going to get on this album. I'm going to let you into my world, and I'm going to talk about my battles, my struggles, my demons. And we're going to vibe and rage together. It sound like the Twilight Zone.
I'm saying it's no fact, show 'em nigga no acts, like I feel in line. I'm about to get mine. Vibe. Ooh, that vibe. Soaring through my world, and I'm about to take a dive. Hey. This is just a sadness in me, sad times.
It's euphoric. I see Kevin Parker from Tame Impala on the credits, and I also see Teddy Walton. There's some heavy hitters on this. It's dope to me. Probably my favorite record, but let me know what you think about this. And the next record to come up after that is Damage, which is giving me Amigos on Shrooms type of vibe, and I'll explain. There's a lot of ambient bounce to it. A lot of the cadences feel like Amigos record, but with Kid Cudi flavor. And if I'm not mistaken, Mike Dean is the lead engineer on this, which he did a really good job on the mixes on here. They have a lot of texture in them. The music has that loudness factor without distortion in the vocals that wasn't in effect.
Here we are, no shit. Tell the boys we get ripped. Rage on. It's the cops' worst problem. Hanging all about whip. Yeehaw. Praise God, thank you, never left me on my own. Shades October.
Praise God, thank you that you never left me on my own. Amen. Let's go.
Yeah, they tryna stop me, hate on my growth. Butter on the road. He won't slow.
What else? I also love that the production has a lot of movement in here. Feels like they're in orbit, like they're in space, which I feel like an artist like Cudi benefits a lot from due to the fact he stays within the same vocal register for most of this album. It keeps it from getting predictable or stale. But the beat is so banging, I didn't even realize, didn't even notice he was talking about being a damaged man until half the song. To the ending, to the midway point, to the ending of the song, I didn't even know he was talking about being a damaged man. That's how hard the production was.
Yeah, I figured that I'm empty, but I'm on a ride. Take it slow, well, no way. aiming for the light. This is how it goes when you're a damaged man.
This is how it goes when you're a damaged man. Hey!
Stop it.
And then it transitions into Heaven on Earth, which is a similar song to Damage in the fact that it has similar sonics and similar drum patterns, and even down to the way that Cudi crafted his rhymes and some of the melodic cadences he chose for this. He didn't deviate too much from what he's already displayed earlier in the album, but I can say that his subject matter is starting to become more centered around his surroundings and the metaphors he's creating for them. For example, as a listener, I'm starting to question, well, what exactly is Heaven on Earth to Cudi? What's hell to him? The curiosity for me is starting to intensify. Already, no, I ain't got time for no fakes. Rage your mode. See, I'm stuck in my ways. This is gonna be a banger already. I already know.
Yeah, heaven on earth, I am curious. Yeah, I'm living all right till I'm gone. Perfect. Wanted to last my whole life. Could've gone back and be trife. Lot of good niggas got caught in the fight. No thing in this world that can keep me from peace but me. Here I am, looking star, animal.
Yes!
Now show out. This is a crowd clearer right here. This is a get lost in a mosh pit anthem, a guard your neck, guard your grill anthem. This song is sonically so different than the previous 3 records, and the change in pacing was good for the flow of the album. I loved hearing Pop Smoke's voice on the hook, and Skepta caught a flat out body.
Show up, back out, pull up. Back on tour with the gang and it's sold out. 22 dates, I ain't missing a show. Got the ladies hitting my phone, got the man them hitting the wall.
This record is finna get yeah, that rotation in the whip. But this one is a Fight Club anthem, a Batman Gotham City Asylum Nights classic. One of my friends who was a Cudi fan said that the first half of the album sounded very off-brand to him in regards to how turnt the production was, and then it settled back into what Cudi is known for. Couldn't really challenge that because I wasn't much of a Cudi fan prior to this album. But if you are a Cudi fan, which I presume you are if you clicked on this video, make sure you comment some facts about Kid Cudi if you agree with this notion. Now, transitioning out of Show Out, which felt anthemic, Mr. Solo Dolo III feels like a come down, like after your adrenaline is starting to wear off. And I feel Cudi's humming a little more than usual on the song, like they feel more potent. And it sounds like and feels like that Cudi's drowning both figuratively and literally on the record. Like the vocal effects makes it sound like he's being submerged in water. And for the most part of the album prior to this song, I felt like he had been using other things as a distraction to avoid having to confront his problems head on. But it's only so long you can do that before you have to confront your problems. And I feel like alcohol, partying, drugs, and women only delay the inevitable.
Losing reality, been saying I'm fine, try my hardest to sleep. Had a rough night, been a sip, so don't even worry about it, waiting till the devil comes.
And that's what I get out of the lyrics from this song, from a man that knew he was not well, but either did not know how to ask for help, didn't feel like he needed help, or didn't trust those around him enough to understand what he was going through.
It's like I'm swimming towards another bona fide life. It's like a fairy tale, one more. Lord, show me that I'm tested and I'm gonna fly.
Now can't hear me scream something twisted in me. Say I'm waiting to die, I cry. Many nights I spend effed up living a lie. Praying I'm just fed up, this tequila in me. These are deep lyrics. These aren't for play. This isn't a show or some kind of facade, I don't think, to make the record sound cool. This feels like real life. At this point in the album, I think he's starting to become more aware and conscientious of his problems, that maybe in the past he was either subdued or distracted and could not grasp the self-destructing path that he was heading down. But I feel like now he's starting to question and trying to figure out why he's feeling what he's feeling. And make no mistake about it, this is a mental health album. A big one at that. Don't let the humming and the melodies, the raps and the hard-hitting drums distract you from that. I don't think it's fair to turn up to his pain without acknowledging that as well, because he's clearly pleading with God, and I think he knows he needs peace. I think he wants peace, and I think he knows he needs a life change. And I feel like he's starting to take the steps to embark on that journey to finding it.
Full moon as it glows, I search for truth, trying to be brand new. Yeah, I will try. And now another broken song. Close call, life on edge. When the time comes, I'll find peace.
If you feel like how he's feeling, I implore you, I advise you to go try to talk to someone, preferably a professional, But I understand as people of color, if you're a person of color watching me, that it's extremely hard and extremely expensive to find that type of care. And I understand that, but hopefully there's affordable therapy in your area.
He was so bored in the winter, so bored in the winter.
Didn't seem he had too bad of an upbringing, you know. Sound like he had a decent childhood, you know. Except for the, you know, that's kind of terrible that his father left him at 11. That's kind of terrible. But other than that, it seemed like he had a caring mom and she did everything she could to make sure he had a decent upbringing. So, I mean, that sucks that his father left him, though. Damn, that's tough.
And transitioning out of Sad People and into September 16th is starting to flow like a stream of consciousness. It doesn't even feel like a structured song anymore. You know how after you wake up from a deep sleep and for about 5 minutes you're awake, you can still kind of remember the last dream cycle you have. You can still remember some details. It's fading though. And the more you become more set within reality, that dream becomes a distant or forgotten memory. That's how I feel about the subject matter and the vibe of this song.
And every time I close my eyes, I see your face, see I'm in trouble. Life goes by, search for your love, wherever it be.
It feels like that limited time, that window of time, that moment of clarity that you have to lock in into what your dreams really mean. Was it a nightmare? Were you having a nightmare, or was it an epiphany, or was it both?
Spiritual. Those hums are spiritual, man. They're like hymns. The church hymns, am I saying them right? Yeah, bro, they carry a lot of weight, bro. They carry a lot of weight, a lot of character, a lot of emotion.
And he's crooning about love on the song, but he isn't latching onto anything specific or any redeeming qualities in a person that will make me feel like he was actually in love. He's definitely in need and in search of something. At least that's what he alludes to, but I would like for him to be a little bit more specific. Still an interesting song to me, nonetheless.
I will fall in the void, just to avoid anything that can break.
See how I just sit up? See how I just perked up? I wasn't ready. Let's go. Oh, he's back in his anthem bag for this one. This is the sonic backdrop to the pursuit for happiness, no pun intended. But this song feels bright, it's up-tempo, it's eclectic. It feels like triumph. And the very little information that I know about Cudi, and for what people that I know have told me about Cudi, and what he's been described as, is just like this song right here, the will to continue life when things look dim. But there are some toxic traits that I caught in this song when Cudi explains, "Tell all my friends and folks I'm going on a ride, don't know when I'm coming home."
This is real, this is how I roll. Tell my friends and folks that I'm on a ride, don't know when I'm coming home.
And to me, that sounds like he's disconnecting from his loved ones and the people that know him when he's going through something. And that may not be the most healthiest way to deal with his problems, but I understand where he's coming from. On the bright side, it sounds like he's slowly starting to climb out of what was holding him back and the weight that was carrying him down. And it sounds like he's coming within one step closer to that search of serenity and achieving that serenity that he mentioned of earlier in this album.
Thank you for listening.
This is beautiful. And Cudi's journey to bettering himself continues on the song Lovin Me. And I love the fact that he's strengthening his relationship with God and working on his spirituality and getting back to loving himself. I love the message, and I feel like the drums on this album keeps the album moving at points where it matters the most to ensure that the album doesn't run too long or feels like it's overstaying its welcome.
Finally see, I'll keep on climbing.
How did they get the drums to sit like that in a mix like that, bro? Because 18 songs is a long album. That's a very long album, so to have harder hitting drums and up-tempo production keeps the listener actively listening and present. But to me, this is one of the more important songs on the album and definitely a highlight for me.
Yeah, caught in the moonlight. In the mirror, you say what I see.
He's flowing on this too. He sounds confident and resilient. No signs of defeat. These are the signs of another small victory in his journey. Another important record on the album.
Rockstar Knights, dim the lights, baby, I don't wanna do this.
Rockstar Knights. I love Trippie's appearance on here. It was nice to hear a change in vocal tone and delivery in this album. His voice cut through due to there being very little features on this album, so when a feature does appear on the album, they garner a different kind of attention. She sure what a bad pretty feet and sand, my eating in the Venador, Silence of the Lambs, yeah. Right here is car music. This is festival music. It feels large, grand. There has to be a video for this song coming. It has to be. The production is trippy. I'm talking like 6 Sense trippy. Shit sounds like something the Sith Lord would get ready to.
Seashore with a bad bitch, pretty feet of sand. My eater in the Venador, the Silence of the Lamb.
But I'm hoping this my paradise.
And for the kids, I love this song. I absolutely love this song. It sounds like Cudi understands his influence and his impact on people. And it sounds like you as fans have been one of the main reasons why Cudi has continued this journey thus far. Your undying love to him and your relentless dedication to his music has gone a long way. But this song had my endorphins doing backflips. And what I mean by that is it made me feel good. It felt nurturing and it's powerful enough. The song is powerful enough to make you feel inspired, seen, and cared for. This is just the right vibe. Turn it up if you need to. Hey.
This is just the right vibe. Turn it loud if you need to. Tell me what the word now. Got it by the moon, I do what I do. Everything's good, but steady puts a limit. When I'm seeing the pain, I will right. Ooh, we're children in the night. Thinking with a vision, I'll become a different wishes.
And to end the album off with Lord I Know, mwah, chef kiss. Ooh, baby, I'm a warrior. Ain't even got the melody right, but you know what I mean. I couldn't have asked for a better ending, a better message, or a better way to close out an album than a song like this. The progression of this song is captivating. It feels different than any other record on the album, but it also feels cohesive. It fits. It's experimental, but in a way that Cudi delivered this, he knocked it right out the park. It's extremely catchy. And Buddy really sounds like he's on the moon. That's crazy. This is probably another Stilo favorite alert. I would not be surprised if this makes it on like a FIFA 2K or Madden soundtrack. It's inciting my inner warrior, my inner fire. Lessons in my life, Lord, I know. And in conclusion, we have reached the end of this reaction / review. I had a really good time listening and reacting to this album. I'm not going to say it was a pleasant surprise, because I didn't really go in with any expectations, but I thoroughly enjoyed the album, and I can't remember a Cudi project that I enjoyed or remember that I enjoyed. So, I mean, if you count Kidz See Ghost, it was cool, but if you count like a full-length solo project from Cudi, this is the first one that I've listened to entirely and enjoyed all the way through. I learned a lot about him, and I learned a lot about him through the music. I'm sure there's more I can learn. So be sure to drop any facts, anything that resonate with you, anything that I should look into afterwards about Cudi after you watch this review, if you got this far in the reaction. And if you got this far in the reaction, I appreciate you. I love you. Make sure you throw the boy a like. And if you got this far, you might as well like. You might as well subscribe more than anything. That's what you should do first. You should subscribe and hit that bell. You did me, like and comment, but most importantly, comment. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the album. Don't really have anything really too much negative to say about the album, but then again, if I'm reacting and reviewing to it, if I'm putting my time towards it, it's going to be an album that I enjoy. That's just a news flash. That's an alert to anybody watching this far. If I'm reacting to an album and I'm taking my time out to do a review like this, I like it. If it's trash, I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it. It's too much time to do these. So, but I hope you're feeling good. I hope you protect your inner peace, working on your mental health. Understand every day above ground is a great day. If you woke up today, you got the win, and we should both be grateful of that. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for joining me on this ride and this journey to being a YouTuber and being, I don't want to say a public figure or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a homie. You feel me? I'm just a homie. I like music. I talk about music. Whoever care, they watch me, whatever. But yeah, that's going to do it for me, Big Stilo. I am out. Shwee. Y'all be good.